Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this WWE action figure video. In today's video, we're going to take a look not at wrestlers, but at managers and associates. So we're not worried about commentators or backstage interviewers. We are looking at managers and associates. All of these figures are Mattel. So they are quite recent. They all came out in the past 9 years. And yeah, there's loads to go through. So let's get straight to it. Let's start with Bobby the Brain Heenan, arguably the greatest manager of all time. You can get a Heenan family pack that comes with a great Bobby Heenan figure. Andre the Giant, Big John Studd. That's the only way you can get that Big John Studd. Mr. Perfect in there as well. You can also get a Bobby Heenan Elite figure, which looks absolutely awesome. It was a little tricky to find. It was part of the Fan Central series. But no doubt about it, this is one of the greatest managers of all time. Next up, we've got Miss Elizabeth. Of course, she would be the manager, the wife of Macho Man Randy Savage. You can get a great then, now, forever elite of Miss Elizabeth. They have made a few different versions of her, but that is the most recent. Moving on, we've got Jimmy Hart, who, of course, managed loads of different people, most notably Hulk Hogan. You can get a Hall of Fame Jimmy Hart figure. I really feel like we need a new, updated Jimmy Hart. I was never a big fan of the face scan on this one. What with the TrueFX technology, I think Mattel could absolutely smash that. Next, we've got J.J. Dillon. And J.J. Dillon was a builder figure, so you had to collect 4 of the figures and then build J.J. Dillon. J.J. Dillon did a lot behind the scenes, but was maybe most notable for being the manager of the 4 Horsemen. Next, we've got Classy Freddy Blassie. He managed the likes of George the Animal Steel. I think he was even Hulk Hogan's first manager as well. This is a figure that is on the way. It's not been released yet. I think it's going to be an exclusive for either Walmart or Target. Kind of later this year, maybe early 2020. So keep an eye out for that. Next, we've got Lana. Lana is the best. Lana #1. And of course, you can get loads of different Lana figures. This is a battle pack where you can get Rusev and Lana together. Very, very cool. You can even get an interesting Lana, a different looking Lana, when she was hanging around with Dolph Ziggler. So you can get a figure of Lana in like a denim suit, which looks slightly different. Got like Dolph Ziggler logos on it and everything. So if you wanted something a little different. Next, we've got John Laurinaitis. He was like the Raw general manager. He did loads of stuff actually. But he was available as a builder figure. Someone else that sadly you couldn't just buy. You had to like build all the different parts that came with a load of other figures together. Next, we've got Constable Corbin. This was only shown recently. This is kind of what he wrestles in now. But of course, he was the Raw general manager for a time. And this was the attire that he was wearing. Next up, we've got Paul Bearer, one of the most famous managers of all time. Of course, the manager of The Undertaker. You could get a Hall of Champions figure for Paul Bearer. They did do a builder figure for him as well, but that Hall of Champions Elite is the easiest way to get a Paul Bearer figure. Next, we got Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick, of course, the manager of the Authors of Pain. Also the general manager of 205 Live. We don't have like Drake Maverick in a suit. We're getting basically the Authors of Pain Drake Maverick. So that's not released yet. There are going to be 2 different versions of him when he gets released. Should be out later in 2019, early 2020. Next up, we've got Paul Ellering. Now, this is unreleased. They have said that if they can find a way of getting it out, they will try and get it out still. don't know if Paul Ellering is under a merch deal anymore, though. That's the only problem. I believe this was going to come out as a Build-A-Figure, so we're going to have to wait and see if this ever sees the light of day. Next up, we've got something a little different. We got the Stooges. These two used to be associates of Vince McMahon. They used to help him out backstage. Actually, Pat Patterson used to help with the writing of the shows as well. But on screen, they were like Vince McMahon's bodyguards, his heavies, if you will. You got Pat Patterson, and of course, just shown off recently, Gerald Briscoe. Next up, we've got Paul Heyman, Basic 63, of course, the advocate of the Beast, Brock Lesnar, and now head executive of Raw, so always worth having a Paul Heyman in the collection. Next up, we've got Commissioner Shawn Michaels. This was hard to find. Again, it's a Build-A-Figure. You had to collect other figures and then put the pieces together. Then you got Commissioner Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels in a suit, which is a very different look for him. Next, we got Selena Vega. She hasn't come out yet, but she is on the way. So if you've got an Andrade figure, don't worry. There is a Zelina Vega figure coming very, very soon. Next, we got the Bunny. I thought we would go something very weird, very different. The Bunny was an associate of Adam Rose. He was part of his entourage, if you will. They even wrestled some matches together, so you can get Adam Rose and the Bunny together in a battle pack. Next up, we've got Ricardo Rodriguez, Basic 34. Of course, Ricardo was the personal ring announcer for Alberto Del Rio, but he would sometimes interfere in the matches as well, so I thought it worthy to add him into this video. Next up, we've got the Singh brothers, associates of Jinder Mahal. Of course, Jinder Mahal had that legendary, quite shocking WWE Championship run, and right by his side all throughout that were the Singh brothers. Next, we got J&J Security. This is Jamie Noble, Joey Mercury. They were like the Stooges, the bodyguards, the heavies for Seth Rollins. You might remember when Seth Rollins won the championship at WrestleMania 31. He then went on quite a good championship run, and he had J&J Security right by his side. Well, you can get a great looking battle pack. Comes with like a video camera accessory as well, which I just think is really, really cool. Next, we got Sensational Sherri. She, of course, would be the manager for the likes of the Macho King and Shawn Michaels. One of the best female wrestlers of all time, in my opinion. If you take that dress off, then you actually have her in her wrestling attire underneath, which I just think is really, really cool. So you can get a Sensational Sherri figure. That is Elite Series 65. Next up, we got Teddy Long. And he was general manager for SmackDown and ECW for a time. Again, that is a Build-A-Figure. So you have to buy a load of figures and then put the pieces together for Teddy Long. Next, we got Vickie Guerrero. She was manager for the likes of Dolph Ziggler. She was SmackDown manager as well. You can get Vickie Guerrero on her own as a basic or in a battle pack with Dolph Ziggler. Moving on, we've got Virgil, who of course was the bodyguard for the $1 Million Man. I am disappointed that we haven't had Virgil in wrestling attire yet. This is still the only Virgil figure. I believe it was like a Toys R Us exclusive. But it's cool. It's fine. It's going to look really cool next to your $1 Million Man figure. Next, we got Zeb Colter. And he comes in a battle pack with Jack Swagger. Of course, he would be the manager for Jack Swagger and the Real Americans tag team as well. We've got El Torito and Hornswoggle. I put these two together. El Torito was the manager for, or associate of, Los Matadores. And, of course, Hornswoggle would hang around with the likes of DX and Finlay. There's a great battle pack that we spoke about in a recent video where you can actually get El Torito and Hornswoggle and some great accessories. So check that out if you haven't seen it already. Moving on, we've got Maryse, who of course was the manager, the associate of The Miz. And you can get a great women's division figure of her, where she comes in like pay-per-view entrance attire and the Intercontinental Championship that The Miz had around that time. We've got Kurt Angle in a suit. Of course, he was the manager of Raw. Yeah, it's a very different look. You can actually get this in a battle pack with Jason Jordan. Of course, the story was Jason Jordan was the son of Kurt Angle. It's a story that never really went anywhere because Jason Jordan sadly got very, very injured and hasn't returned since. So not sure if we're going to see Jason Jordan again. Even if we do, I don't know if they're going to pick up this storyline. So yeah, a bit of a weird battle pack this one, but you can get Kurt Angle in a suit. Of course, before Kurt Angle, Mick Foley was the general manager. So you can see right here, we've got Mick Foley in a battle pack with Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon at the time was the commissioner of Raw. So yeah, that's just a fun little battle pack. Mick Foley in a suit. Over on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan was the general manager. So you can get Daniel Bryan in a suit as well, in a little battle pack, which looks cool. And sadly, Paige, who was the general manager of SmackDown after Daniel Bryan and is now the manager of the Kabuki Warriors, she has never had a figure of her in a suit. We're still waiting for that. I really feel like they should give us that, what with her being general manager and now a manager of the Kabuki Warriors. So hopefully we get a suited Paige figure in the future. But for now, that's everything that I could find. Let me know if I've missed anything down in the comments below. I think I pretty much got everything, but I could have missed the odd thing. Let me know as well which of those you've got and what is your favourite. If you like the video, obviously give it a like. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. We've got loads of videos on the way. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.